Dear gods, set me free from all the pain. The long watch I keep, 1 whole year awake, propped on my arms, crouched on the roof of Atreus like a dog. I know the stars by heart, the armies of the night, and they're in the lead, the ones that bring us snow or the crops of summer, bring us all we have, our great blazing kings of the sky. I know them, when they rise and when they fall, and I watch for the light, the signal fire, breaking out of Troy, shouting, Troy is taken! So she commands, full of our high hopes, that woman, she manoeuvres like a man. And when I keep my bed soaked in dew, and the thoughts that go groping through the night, and the good dreams that used to guard my sleep, not here, 'tis the old comrade, terror at my neck, I mustn't sleep, no. I try to pick out tunes, I hum a little, good cure for sleep. I cry for the hard times, come to the house, to no longer run like the great place of old. Oh, for a blessed end to all our pain. Some god step burning through the dark. You dawn of the darkness, salute you. You turn night to day, I see the light at last. Thou will be dancing in the streets of Argos. Thanks to you, thanks to this new stroke of... Aye! There's your signal, clear and true, my queen. Rise up from bed, hurry, lift a cry of triumph. Through the house praise the gods for the beacon, if they've taken Troy. But there it burns. Fire all the way. I'm for the morning dances. Master's luck is mine. Throw of the torch has brought us 666s. We have won! My move now. Just bring him home, my king. I'll take your loving hand in mine, and then the rest is silence. The ox is on my tongue. Aye, but the house and these old stones give them a voice, and what a tale they'd tell. And so would I gladly. I speak to those who knew. To those who don't, my mind's a blank, I never say a word. 10 years gone. Turn to the day. A great avenger went for Priam. Menelaus and Lord Agamemnon, 2 kings of the power of Zeus. A twin throne, twin scepter. Atreus, the sturdy yoke of sons, launched Greece in 1,000 ships. Armadas cutting loose from the land, armies massed the cause. The rescue! The heart within them screamed for all-out war. Like vultures robbed of their young, the agony sends them frenzy. Soaring high from the nest, round and round they reel. They row their wings, stroke upon churning flashing stroke, but all the labour the bed of pain. The young are lost forever, yet someone hears on high, Apollo, Pan, or Zeus. The piercing wall these guests of heaven raise, and drives the outlaws, late but true to revenge, a stabbing fury. So towering the gods of guests, drives Atreus' son at Paris. All for a woman manned by many, the generations wrestle, knee grinding the dust, the manhood drains. The spear snaps in the first blood rites, that marry Greece and Troy. And now it goes as it goes, and where it ends is fate. And neither by singing flesh, nor tipping cups of wine, nor shedding burning tears can you enchant away the rigid fury. We are the old disordered ones, the broken husks of men. Even then they cast us off. The rescue mission left us here, to our proper charge strength upon a stick. What if the new sap rises in his chest? He has no solid soldiery in him, no more than we, and we are aged, past aging, gloss of the leaf shriveled, 3 legs at a time we falter on. Old men are children once again, a dream that sways and wavers into the hard light of day. But you, daughter of leader, queen clad in Nestor, what now, what news, what message drives you through the citadel burning victims? Look, the city gods, the gods of Olympus, gods of the earth and public markets, all the altars blazing with your gifts. Argos blazes, torches raise the sunrise up our skies, jugged by the lulling holy oils at our daughters. Run from the dark vaults of kings, tell us the news. What you can, what is right, heal us, soothe our fears. Now the darkness comes to the fore. Now the hope glows through your victims. Beating back this raw, relentless anguish, gnawing at the heart. Oh, but I still have the power to sound the gods' command at the roads, that launch the kings, the gods breathe power through my song. My fighting strength, persuasion grows with the years. I sing how the flight of fury held the twin command, one that held young Greece, and winged the spear of vengeance straight for Troy. The king of birds, the kings of the breaking prose, one black, one with a blaze of silver. Skim the palace spearhead right, The swooping lower all could see, plunged their claws in the hair, the mother bursting with unborn young, the baby spilling quick spurts of blood, cut off the race nurse, dashing into life. Cry, cry for death, but good win out and glory in the end. Below Seer of the armies, studies Atreus' sons. 2 sons with warring hearts, he saw 2 eagle kings devour the hair and spoke the things to come. Years pass and long hunt next for the city of Priam. The flocks beyond the walls, the kingdom's life and soul, fate stamps them out. Just let no curse of the gods lower on us first. Shatter our giant armour. Forged to strangle Troy, I see! Pure Artemis bristle in pity. Yes, the flying helms of the father slaughter for armies their own victim. A woman, trembling young, all born to die, she loathes the eagle's feast. Cry, cry for death, but good wins out and glory in the end. Artemis, lovely Artemis, so kind to the ravaging lion's tender helpless cubs, the suckling young of beasts that stalk the wild, bring this sign in for all its fortune, all its brutal torment home to birth. I beg you, healing Apollo, soothe her before her crosswinds hold us down and moor the ships too long, pressing us on another victim. Nothing sacred, no. No feast to be eaten in the architect of vengeance. Growing strong in the house with no fear of the husband, here she waits. The terror raged back and back in the future, the stealth, the law of the hearth, the mother, memory womb of fury, child avenging fury, so as the eagles wheels at the crossroads, Calchas clashed out and great good blessings mixed with doom, for the halls of kings are singing with our fate. We cry, cry for death, but good wins out in glory in the end. Zeus, great nameless all in all, in that name will gain his favour. I will call him Zeus. I have no words to do him justice. Weighing all in the balance, all I have is Zeus. Zeus, lift this weight, this torment from my spirit. Cast it once for all. He was so mighty, storming for the walls of heaven. He has had his day. And then his son who came to power met his match in the 3rd fall. And he is gone. Zeus, Zeus, raise your cries and sing him. Zeus the victor, you will reach the truth. Zeus has led us to know. The helmsman lays it down as law, that we must suffer into truth. We cannot sleep, and drop by drop at the heart, the pain of pain remembered comes again, and we resist, but ripeness comes as well. For the gods enthroned on the awesome Roman bench, there comes a violent love. So it was that day. The steersman, the helm of Greece, will never blame a word the prophet said. Swept away by the wrenching winds of fortune, he conspired. Wherever bound we could not sail, our stores exhausted, fighting straight, hard pressed, and the squadrons rode in the shallows of Chalcis, where the riptide crashes, drags. Winds from the north pinned down our hulls at Aeschylus, port of anguish, heads, winds, starving. Sheets and the cables snapped, and the men's minds strayed. The pride, the bloom of Greece was raked at time, ground down, and then the cure for the storm as it was harsher, Calchas cried. My captains, Artemis must have blood, so harsh the sons of Atreus dashed their sceptres on the rocks, could not hold back their tears. I still can hear the older warlord saying, Obey, obey, or heavy doom will crush me. But doom will crush me. Once I avenge my child, glory of my house. A father's hands are stained. Blood of a young girl streaks the altar. Pain both ways, and what is worse, desert the fleets, fail the alliance. No. But stop the winds with a virgin's blood. Feed their lust, their fury. Feed their fury. Law is law. Let's all go well. And once he slipped his neck in the strap of fate, his spirit veering black, impure, unholy. Once he turned, he stooped at nothing, seized with a frenzy, blinding, driving to outrage, wretched fury, cause of all our grief. Yes, he had the heart to sacrifice his daughter, to bless the war that avenged a woman's loss, a bridal rite that sped the men of war. My father, she might pray to the winds. No innocence moves, her judge is mad for war. Her father calls his henchmen on with a prayer. Hoist her over the altar. Like a yearling, give it all your strength. She's fainting, lift her, sweep her robes around her, but slip the strap in her gentle curving lip. Here, gag her hard, a sound will curse the house, and the bridal chokes her voice, her saffron robes pouring over the sand. Her glance like arrows showering, wounding every murderer through with pity. Clear as a picture, lives she strains to call their names. I remember often the days where father's guests went over the feast, her young voice unbroken, pure as the hymn, her loving father, bearing third libation, sang to saving Zeus, transfixed with joy, Atreus' offspring, throbbing out their love. But what comes next? I cannot see it, cannot say. The strong techniques of Calchas do their work, but justice turns the balanced scales. See that we suffer, and we learn. And we will know the future when it comes. Greet it too early and weep too soon. It all comes clear in the light of day. Let all go well today. Well as she could want. Our midnight watch, our lone defender, single-minded queen. We've come, cried Nestor, we respect your power. Right it is to honour the warlord's woman once he leaves the throne, but why these fires? Good news or more good hopes, we're loyal, we want to hear, but never blame your silence. Let this new day shine, as the proverb says. Glorious from the womb of Mother Night. You will hear a joy beyond your hopes. Priam's citadel. The Greeks have taken Troy. No, what do you mean? I can't believe it. Troy is ours, is that clear enough? The joy of it, stealing over me, calling up my tears. Yes, your eyes expose your loyal hearts. And you have proof? I do. I must. Unless the god is lying. That or a phantom spirit sends you into raptures. No one takes me in with visions, says the streams. Or giddy rumour you haven't indulged yourself. You treat me like a child. You mock me? Then when did they storm the city? Last night, I say, the mother of this morning. Who on earth could run the news so fast? The god of fire. Rushing fire from Ida. And beacon to beacon rushed it in on me. My couriers riding home the torch from Troy, to the bare rocks of Lemnos Hermes spur, and the escort wing the great light west, to the saving father's face. Mount Athos held it third in the chain, and leaping oceans back, the blaze went dancing onto ecstasy, pitch pine streaming gold like a newborn sun, and brought the world in flame to Mount Makistos' brow. No time to waste, straining, fighting, sleep the murderous straits of Europos to reach Messapion's watchman, craning for the signal. Fire for the world of fire, I tense with the heather. With grey, they stack it. Set it ablaze, the hot force of the beacon never flags. It springs the plain of Aspos, rears like a harvest moon to hit Curithon's crest, and drives new men to drive the fire on, that relay pants for the far-flung torch. They swell its strength, outstripping my commands, and the light inflames the martial Gorgon's eye. It strikes the peak where the wild goats range. My laws, my fire whips the camp. They spare nothing, eager to build its heat, and a huge beard of flame overcomes the headland. Breathing down the Saconic Gulf and flaring south, it brings the dawn to the Black Widow's face. The watch that looms above your heads, and now the true sun of the burning flanks of Ida clashes on the roofs of Atreus' sons. And I ordained it all. Torch to torch, running for their lives. One long succession raising home my fire. One first in the lapse and last wins out in triumph. Now you have my proof. My burning stein, I tell you. The power my lord passed on from Troy to me. Well, thank the gods, my lady. First this story, let me lose myself in the wonder of it all. Tell it start to finish. Tell us all. The city is ours, in our hands this very day. I can hear the cries and the crossfire rock the walls. Pour oil and wine in the same bowl. What have you? Friendship? A struggle to the end. So with the victors and the victims, out cries you can hear them clashing like their fates. They are kneeling by the bodies of the dead, embracing men and brothers, infants over the aged loins that gave them life, and sobbing at the yoke constricts their free last breath. For every dear one lost. And the others there plunging breakneck through the night, the labour of battle sets them down, ravenous to breakfast on the last remains of Troy. Not by rank but chance, by the lots they draw, they lodge in their houses captured by the spear, settling it soon. Released from the open sky, the frost and dew, lucky men off guard at last, they sleep away their first good night in your years. If only they are rever in the city's gods, the shrines of the gods who loved the conquered land. No plunder will be plundered in return. Just let no lust, no mad desire seize the armies, to ravish what they must not touch, overwhelmed by all they've won. The run for home and safety awaits. To swerve at the post, the final lap of the grueling two-lap race. And even if the men come back with no offence to the gods, the avenging dead may ne'er take rest. Oh, let no new disaster strike. And here, you have it, what a woman has to say. That the best win out, clear to see, a small desire, was all that I could want. Spoken like a man, my lady, loyal, full of self-command, I've heard your sign and now your visions. Now, to praise the gods. The joy is worth the labour.